What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den, my friends. I hope all is well. I hope everybody is doing fine and dandy this evening. I am your host, Ed Honcho. If you're not familiar with the den is where friends gather and have a little bit of uncensored conversation. But remember, we're all friends in the den. So even though we may not agree, even though we may not always be on the same page, we are all friends in the den. So, a couple of things we're going to talk about tonight, but the main topic of tonight is going to be the death of American football. And so we're going to cover a variety of things that's going on with American football currently in the U.S., you know, from the Pop Warner to the professional. But before we get into that, we got to talk about something a little bit more important than American football, and that is the friends in the den who is joining us this evening. Show a little bit of love. That's the least that I can do because I appreciate each and every one of you all. So all the early arrivals get a little bit of love. I see I gave you power. Balin, Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Mello, Edman, yes, a little sports in the den this evening. Dr. Rabbit, happy birthday to Dr. Rabbit. Kenneth, let's see. Kenneth, look. Oh, Kenneth trying to tell people to go do their damn homework when he's been copying off other people in class. But here is the deal, okay? So I want to talk about football, and I didn't have a chance to pull up the exact spot where I got the information. But the numbers are down across the board. And I kind of want to talk about why. Why are the numbers down? And I think it has to do with a lot of things. One of those things being, and I guess you could start with the blame on the NFL on this thing, but I don't even know if that's the case. Because I guess, you know, the NFL does set the standards as far as how the game is played because that's the ultimate league. That's ultimately what you're trying to get to. That's where the end game is. Now, the numbers are down in Little League. The numbers are down in, well, not Little League, what do they call it, Pop Warner or whatever. It used to be called Optimus and things like that. The numbers are down in junior high. The numbers are down in high school. I want to say it was something like across the country, like it's like 25,000 fewer players now. So many schools across the league. It could seem like not that much, but you know, not everybody in the entire school is playing the game. Just the overall numbers are declining, and that's something to think about. Now, the first reason I want to say is health. And health is only a factor because there are ways, there are technologies, there are things that could make the game safer. But the NFL, for a long time, and I'm not sure even if they still do, but I know for a long time they had, who was that, Rydell, or whichever company they had, like basically a lifetime contract with as far as making the helmets. And they were cool. They weren't really investing in new helmet technology. They weren't really investing in safer helmet technology for quite a while. Because there have been helmets that have been designed that are shown to be much safer to prevent against concussions and things like that along the way. But one of these things being, you know, the concussions. And the NFL has had information on concussions since the 60s and 70s. I mean, they've had this information for a long time about long-term brain damage and all these things. But that's before, you know, all this stuff used to get leaked out. So, I mean, you know, decades ago, this game could have been fixed and a lot of things could have been done. And it trickles down, you know. But I remember being in games where I remember back when I played, this was still in the early 2000s. There were games, motherfucker had a concussion and would go back in and still play. Like, it wasn't a thing. There was no concussion protocol. There was none of that. I've gotten concussions before in a game before and gone back in and played, Set out a little bit, got your bell when they used to call it getting your bell wrong, Nobody uses that term anymore. I guess you guys may not notice that. But this was back, in high school, college, things like that. And so now you have all this information coming out and all these things happening about the long-term effects of CTE. And this happens in other sports, hockey, and not so much, basketball or baseball, I wouldn't think. But other contact sports, I'm sure boxers suffer from it. You getting your fucking face popped 100 times a match. MMA fighters, you getting kicked and kneed and everything else in there. You're definitely getting some CTE action. And we're not talking about Jeezy's Corporate Thug Entertainment. We're talking about, I forgot what the disease is actually called, but basically a brain trauma. So that's one of the biggest things. And you have parents who are afraid, I don't want my kid to get the CTE, I don't want them to get hurt. And so they're pulling their kids out of football. They're not allowing them to play, because they're afraid of these injuries. They're afraid of, what could happen. Not what has happened, not, the likelihood of anything ever happening again, but what could possibly happen. And I think that's kind of weak, but, I mean, it's your child. You do what you got to do. The long-term effects are still relatively unknown. You've seen guys like Sayal kill themselves over stuff like this. You've seen guys have injuries. They said, Aaron Hernandez actually had a terrible case of CTE, and that's why he was so thrown off. I still haven't watched that movie, Concussion. Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? I have to check that out. I still haven't seen Concussion. But again, like I said, they've had this information for a long time. They tried to suppress it. Now that's why they try to do everything under the guise of player safety. But you notice it's always doing stuff to make defensive players play a different level. Player safety doesn't care about your arms, legs, ACLs, knees, anything like that. It's only about your mind. Now, health is a big factor. 2, I think that day by day, the country becomes more pussified. Masculinity is looked down upon. Football is looked at as a masculine game, as a man's game, even though nowadays it seems like the lingerie league plays tougher than the NFL. It's looked upon as I won't say war because that's not the right comparison, but it's a battle. It's a fight. I mean, it's competition. It's violent, or it used to be. And with this whole feminization of America and everything, all these guys, it used to be, I want to grow up, I want to be a football player, I want to be tough, I want to be macho, I want to be this or whatever. But now it's all about, being frail, being soft, being weak. Everybody's not going to have the stature to be a successful football player. But, I mean, it is what it is. I used to remember seeing the littlest, tiniest guys used to try to get out there and make a name for themselves. And they would play, knowing that they were going up against much bigger competition, still give it their all. And now you have the parents who don't want to make their kids go through anything. The first day of practice, they didn't like it. So you don't have to play ever again, little Johnny. It's okay. I don't want you to be sad. Oh, you didn't make the A team. I'm going to tell that coach about himself. He doesn't know talent, even though you can't catch. You run a 8 flat and you fucking walk sideways, but it's okay. You can't block and everything else. But it's that coach. You should be on the A team. You got these sucker-ass parents nowadays who attempt to try to make the world revolve around their children, knowing that, hey, look, I say it all the time, don't nobody give a fuck about your kids, man. Like, I'm sure you love your children, but nobody gives a fuck about your kids but you. That's something that people need to remember. Darren Sproles like 5 and he's still good. Absolutely. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? So my thing is this, man. My thing is this. You just want to be a hockey player just because they fought a lot? Absolutely. Exactly. That toxic masculinity. Now you got a lot of these feminist parents, or these women who claim feminism. I'm going to teach my son to love women, not play football because football players beat women. You said Chris Bourne, a guy that retired at age 24 started. But that's my thing. Honestly, honestly, if I was to ever go to the league, well, back then when because I never really had that dream, that's what I probably would end up doing, because I never really just had that love for the game. But if it would ever been a chance to go, I'd have probably play out that first contract, take their money and go do something else, which is what it should be. But a lot of these guys, you know, they love the game, they love the accolades, they love everything that comes with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And again, you know, it's a shame. And now, health, the world become a little bit more pussified. And then I think the third thing, which is a major key, is all of the distractions. And what I mean by distractions, I mean technology and video games and all of these things that take away from the dedication that used to go into football. You know, back when I was younger, a lot of this stuff, yeah, we had video games. We had Super Nintendos. We had Xboxes at one point in time and things of that nature. But, you know, the real live action was what was key. You know, getting out there and dominating somebody else physically in the real world, not just, you know, one-hitter quitters on Call of Duty, or not fake touchdowns on Madden, not fucking fake buckets on 2K. Like, really doing things in reality was what it was all about. Not, hey, I killed 150 people on this game. Like, that's why, you know, now I enjoy video games, though I ain't that good at them, but I'm not as vested in them, you know, as some people may be. When you've actually done things in reality, that's a much greater feeling than, you know, oh, I pushed the B button or the X button and I knocked the ball loose and I picked it up and ran a touchdown, held down the trigger and added a little juice. It's a much better feeling to do shit like that in real life, you know, have real accolades, be the one that is modeled after, that is doing those kind of things. So I think now with all the distractions, all the other possibilities, there's so many other things to look up to, you know, so many other opportunities now, you know, outside of, you know, going and get physical. Kids don't want to get beat up or whatever it is, that they choose another direction. And, you know, if you're good at a thing, cool. If it's just something that's biding your time and wasting your time, not so much. I think it's bullshit. Now, this is why I think that less people are playing the game of football. Now, there's another thing that's killing football. And again, this starts at the very top and it's working its way down. And that is the NFL and the money grab. And it's become more about the money than it is about the game. And why I say that is the fucking penalties. You know, back in the day, guess what? A quarterback was just like anybody else on the field. He wasn't no special protection. It wasn't no, well, you know, he throws the ball every time, so he should treat. That's like a fucking baby. It's babyfied. They pussified the game for these quarterbacks. Like, these quarterbacks now, because it's modern times, we think they're legendary. I really don't. It's okay, but I really don't look at these guys as legendary quarterbacks. You know, back in your Moons and Montanas and Elways and Marinos, you know, those guys, when they set records, when they did these things because they could actually get hit, because there was actually pressure, they actually had to be talented. You know, there was no halo, there was no, well, you can only hit them this way. Now you can't drop your weight on them, you're roughing them up. They play football, you little bitch. Hey, stop that. We have someone joining us. I don't know if y'all, well, you can't see him. But, you know, they just add all these rules, add all these stipulations now that people are tired, man. People are tired of seeing this bullshit. It's like, we know all they want to do is put up points. Now all these records are broken because people like hearing, oh, such and such broke a record. Oh, such and such did this that's never been done before. Oh, such and such did that that's never been done before. Only because, honestly, in this day and age, let's be realistic. If they kept the rules as they were, you know, in the Tagliabue era, these players, these quarterbacks nowadays would not be breaking and or setting any records. With the way the defenses are bigger, faster, stronger, smarter, that these quarterbacks would get crushed. They would get annihilated, and they wouldn't want to play the game anymore. And the thing is, there wouldn't be all this record setting. You know, I got to ease up off of them. I got to pull up off the play. I can't play the way I'm supposed to play because of the player I might be engaging with. That's some stupid shit. And I think more and more people are becoming frustrated and annoyed with this aspect of football. You know, it went from, you know, I won't say war games, but again, you know, it went from a battle on the field to, well, this guy's in a certain position, so you can't hit him because he's doing a certain thing, or that's not a catch because of, you know, this, that, and again, little shit like that. It may not turn them off by the thousands as the injuries and the health and things like that would, but slowly, by little, you're losing a couple of fans here, you're losing a couple of fans there in pockets all across the nation. I'm telling you, like, honestly, with myself, I'm on the brink. It almost is getting harder and harder. Well, honestly, if the Texans probably didn't have a quarterback, I might be hanging by a thin thread, because that's what maintains my interest. Even though I'm a defensive guy, it's harder and harder to appreciate defense. It's harder and harder to watch defenses because, oh, well, he hit the quarterback. Oh, sack. Oh, no, it's roughing the passer now because he did his job. All right, Rabbit. You know, and that's the thing that bothers me. You know, the game has become watered down and in favor of one position, in favor of one side of the ball. Again, you know, and now from the NFL with all their calls, you know, the NCAA starting to pick up targeting. You know, guys get ejected for making what used to be a football play. You know, now you get ejected for it. You know, oh, you can't talk trash. We're over here beating each other up, and we can't say anything. We can't talk trash. Well, you're taunting. You're making, well, shit, tell a motherfucker to stop me. You know, it's all this PC nonsense that's getting added to the game. These guys know what they're getting into. Hey, you're taking a risk of breaking a leg, but you're also taking a risk. You know, are you willing to break a leg, take a severe injury for $10 million this season? Now, does everybody get that kind of money? No, you know, but that is what it is. Guys will sign for what they're worth. And trust me, here's guys who'd be more than willing to play football than go work, instructed to go work fucking at McDonald's, to go work at any fucking other little thing, you know what I mean? Just working on the out on the fucking the rig and shit, you know, driving trucks, whatever it may be. They'd be more than willing to take those risks to have the fame, the glory, and everything that used to come with back in the day being a gladiator, you know, a modern day gladiator, you know, just to do it. But again, they want to protect this brand because they want to make more and more money. It's no longer about the game. It's about the brand. It's about bringing in new people. It's about bringing in, you know, new eyes and all this other stuff. But again, too, another reason why the game is slowly declining, because we talked about this briefly the other day on South Sports. You know what I'm saying? They have extra large mosquito in North Carolina, Oklahoma, where people were running for safety. I was just running for safety from some mosquitoes myself. Bitch was big as a motherfucker. Bit damn near size my elbow. I'm exaggerating, but that bitch was big as fuck. What's going on in North Carolina? Come on and raise up. But you know, again, the culture of the NFL game it's sensitive now. It used to be, you know what I'm saying? Did I stop watching Texas? No, I didn't stop watching Texas. I was still dropping sauce. Yeah, I agree, but I think slowly but surely it's going to decline, and I think those purists will start to go away because the game is getting away from what it originally was. And I think that people will start having a lack of interest. And I think that's where it starts, though. The decline on the lower levels, you know, that shrinks that talent pool. Then that's less talented players that are moving up on each level. And so now, you know, instead of you have all these standouts and studs and amazing players, you got people who may have been a talented football player. They decide, you know what, I'm gonna stick solely to baseball, or I'm gonna stick solely to, you know, basketball. I don't want to suffer the injuries. I don't want to, you know, deal with the politics. It's more of a likelihood that I can get on playing baseball or whatever else it may be, you know. So my thing is, I think that we may not see just an immediate drop, but I think slowly but surely, there will be a decline. There will always be people who are always going to root and cheer for their teams, but again, the game is going to translate into something different than what it was. But again, there will always be people who hang on. There will always be people who enjoy the sport. But then again, a lot of the new fan base is people who just want to see offense. That, to me, all these overly high-scoring games, they're cool, but that's not what I tune into the game for. And so I think that eventually the greed in the NFL will undermine it. I think it'll get to a point where there's a lack of growth. Yeah, you may be able to add another city here or there, but again, I don't think that there's too much more room for growth. I know they're trying to go overseas to the London thing. I think that's going to help put a dent in the game because, I mean, you got guys traveling internationally, going to another country to play the sport. Canada is one thing because, you're on the same continent. But you're talking about the time change. You're talking about trying to get people to wake up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning to watch fucking football. That's not what people want to do. It's going to throw it off for players. I think players will be at a disadvantage, having to travel. I mean, it's just a lot of things. You already talk about the East-West Coast thing being a problem. I understand trying to grow the brand, trying to make it international, but I don't think it'll be as big of a deal as they're trying to make it. I don't think that it'll catch. I know they've been trying to play in Japan. I know that they have all kind of stuff going on, but I don't think that. I just think that it's going to come to an abrupt halt, and I think that it'll be stagnant for a while. And I think you'll have people who will fuck with it, and you have people who will. I think as technology improves and other things become more interesting, that I think it'll start to fall off. But I don't want to talk all negative about football. What I do want to talk about with football is I feel like it's unfortunate that it's declining. Because I kind of want to talk about some of the life lessons that, football gives you. And I think a lot of these kids are missing out on these things. Talking about that rite of passage. You're talking about, growing up, kind of learning certain things, how to be a man, how to be a better teammate, how to focus on your craft. And it was interesting when Seth Payne came on the show the other day, and one of the questions I'd asked him was, how did you transition from, being a football player to basically to being a civilian, and in less words, being a regular citizen. And he said, he made a military comparison. He's like, not to say that, it's like the military, but, in the military, your job, what you're supposed to do. You have a task. In football, it teaches you that. Basketball, you have tasks, but you're kind of responsible to do a lot of things. You got to be able to do things on both sides of the court and contribute offensively, defensively. And then, I'm not saying that, other team sports don't teach certain things. But I think in football, you have specific missions by position. And you hone those specific skills to get better at doing the things required for those specific positions. Structure, absolutely. Understanding that sometimes it's going to be difficult, taking those losses, giving everything you got, those last-minute plays, those, sometimes going up a team that's just so much better than you. Sometimes you can strategize and come out victorious. Sometimes, there's just overwhelming odds that you can't defeat, but you learn how to get up out the mud and continue to battle on. When things are just not going your way, you still learn how to stay solid, to keep giving everything you got. The dedication, getting up early mornings, working out, running, whatever else it may be. Again, that focus that it takes, the camaraderie, when having your back of your teammate, when you're required, if you're on the line, I gotta pull that guy, just that little move. Hey, I got to keep him up off that linebacker. Can't let him get to the second level. Or, if you're an offensive lineman, you're blocking for your quarterback or your running back, you may not get the glory, but you do the things that help that team win, and you're happy about your contributions. It may not be the thing that people see, but that your teammates appreciate it. And as a unit, you create things. You embrace the wins. You re-strategize with the losses. And again, and then as you see yourself develop as an individual from the workouts, from the sprints, from the drills, from whatever skills that it is that you develop, and you see those skills enhance and increase, you appreciate that. You understand the meaning of hard work, putting in sweat, the blood, the pain of losing. Sometimes, hey, that last game of the playoffs that you want to keep playing, but it's a wrap for you. Sometimes it's sad. Hey, I'll catch you next year. Putting in that work in the off season. All the things that come with being a football player, and having that unity. Because again, basketball, you can go to a basketball court and you can shoot basketballs by yourself. You can go to a batting cage, you can hit baseballs by yourself. But there's not too much football that you can do on your own. Yeah, you can grab a football and run up and down the field by yourself, but it's not the same. You can't throw the ball to yourself. You can't really enjoy the prime aspect of the sport by yourself. It's a team game, and you need a team. That's trustworthy. You learn trust. You learn how to have faith, how to depend on, your fellow teammates. You learn competition. You just learn a lot of things. And again, you learn how to get up if your ass get knocked out. You learn how to take that pain and grow from it. And guess what? A little bit of pain ain't the end of the world. Look, don't tell me when to open a goddamn den line, Kenneth. You know what I mean? Exactly, that camaraderie, knowing who really got your back, knowing who you can depend on. Scotty, sit down. Yes, Scotty is on the desk. He's trying to take up all the real estate. He can push the keyboard out the way. He can push the den line out the way. He doing all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? He over here just taking over, thinking he runs shit, He begged to come downstairs and come fuck with the den. And now he's just acting up. You know what I'm saying? Scotty know better than that. Scotty is house broken or he will be broken. So he said, my sons are extremely disciplined and focused because of football. Exactly, man. You know what it is, man. That feeling to make those plays, those big hits. But shit, now you can't even do that anymore. I mean, that's why I say I think especially what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing things are going to start becoming unbalanced. Everybody's going to want to play on that offensive side of the ball because that's where all the glory is going to be at. Now it's going to be bad. If you're a defensive player, you're bad. You can't hit a person a certain way. You got to do all this extra stuff that isn't required of others. And I think that, it's really unfortunate, Yeah. Now they start booing you for hitting people now. That used to be the feeling when you used to just lay a motherfucker out. I mean, and flatten the motherfucker. I mean, and just the crowd would just like when you are the one that took people's breath and you standing in front of them on that field and thousands of motherfuckers either cheering for you or booing you or mad or whatever else it may be, that's a remarkable feeling. You know what I mean? But it's just what I'm saying. It's just that nowadays, if you're on one side of the ball, yeah, cool. You get highlights. You get all that other stuff. Nowadays, yeah, only if you make plays on the ball. You stop a man, you hit him, and oh, shame on you. Bringing hat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You bringing hat. You can't bring hat no more. What did I say earlier? The term you can't. I forgot it was a term I used earlier that you can't fucking say no more because it's no longer allowed. You know what I mean? It was just like, I can't think of it. It'll come back to me in a second, but it's a different game. Ringing your bell, getting your bell wrong. You don't hear anybody say that anymore. Motherfucker, oh, you got his bell wrong. You got his bell wrong, you'll be back in the game. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's sarcastic about bell wrong. Appreciate it, 335. I don't know, my boy 335 got me. Yeah, you can't even say that. He got his bell wrong. Oh, now he's going in the tent. He's going to be under concussion protocol. Bell wrong got exchanged for concussion protocol, man. And it's crazy shit. You know what I mean? Say when the bell ring now, punch folks. Exactly. It's a whole different type of game. And that's the crazy shit, man. Yeah. No. K-Joe just like, fuck it. I'm bringing old football back. I'll do it myself. The boys like 10-second hug penalty. Yeah, man, look. it's craziness. It's so craziness, man. Like that's why I get annoyed when I get frustrated with the text. Like, I understand sportsmanship. Hey, guess what? High five after the game is over with, all that other stuff. But in the middle of quarters, in the middle of that, when that time clock's still ticking, in between the whistles and picking people up off the ground and dapping them up and all of that, man, fuck that, dude. Like, y'all don't understand how much shit I used to talk buku shit, and then motherfuckers used to be mad after the game. I'd be ready to fight after the game. I try to look, hey, you know, I did you bad. I try to show a little sportsmanship. And motherfuckers say something, man, you did it. Yeah, I did, nigga, fuck you. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to take the shit, you know, it's whatever. But now, it ain't none of that. Like, it kills me, you know. It really does. And I find it unfortunate, you know. And I didn't have the best sportsmanship. I tried. But I'll just be honest with you about that, you know. And sometimes shit stuck with me. Sometimes I was cool about it. But my thing is just like, where is that? Why can't we have that again, you know? It's super simple. If a motherfucker don't want to do that shit, you got options to do 1,000 other things in this world. You don't want to play football at that level and take that risk, and then do something different, man. You know what I mean? Like, do something different. And so it's fucking, I was a beast. Yeah, man, like, it's nothing allowed to be like, I guarantee you they gonna find a way to do some bullshit with the UFC simply because of that Khabib shit, when that really wasn't even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a level to it, though, because my deal with that was, look, if you gonna talk the shit, you got to be ready for everything that come with that. And some motherfuckers play that shit inside the ring and they leave it there. But when you talk about shit that ain't got shit to do with fucking fighting, then, you know, when I really hate you and I really don't like you, then shit, you know, it is on site, whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and it is what it is, you know. And a lot of people, they've softened the game up, you know, and that's the crazy stuff. You know, they feminized the game. They started making it softer because they want to sell more jerseys to women. They want to sell these female. Oh, well, women actually like watching a bunch of strong guys play the sport, but they don't like the violence aspect of it. They understand touchdowns. You know, they understand the simple stuff, the touchdowns. And I'm not trying to marginalize women, because most women don't. Most women go to the fucking game and they know touchdown. Who scored? Or is that our team? You know, they know. Most women Texan fans just know J.J. Watt. You know, let's be realistic. And I fart on in the pile up. I used to be poking eyes, punching motherfuckers, all kind of shit in the pile. They get, look, you don't want to be on the bottom of the pile. They get grimy in that motherfucker. But let's be realistic. I mean, I'm just being serious. Shit, most dudes only know fucking shit. A lot of these new, come on, you see some of these soft ass motherfucking fans, dog. Look like they ain't never, motherfuckers. Some of these dudes look like if a nigga tossed them around, he'd be like, ew, what is that? Ew, the football. No. You know what I'm saying? My thing is crazy stuff, dog. It's just, it's crazy. The world has gotten super soft, America especially, and it kills me because everywhere else, well, not everywhere else, you know, you got some of your French and some of your European countries and things, but everywhere else, motherfuckers are getting hardened. They're not James Harden, but they're hardening up. They're hardening up. They're getting harder. You know, they dealing with real shit. They ready for war. They ready for whatever else. But in America, let's not bully. Don't be mean. Don't say mean words. Man, like, come on, man. If it's wet shit, it's on. Man, I told you about that one time in the middle of a game. It was a playoff game, too. I motherfucking made a tackle. I heard my stomach say, I was like, ooh, coach, gotta go. Because if I make another tackle, it's going to be over with. I ran the middle of the motherfucking game. It was like early second quarter. And here's the deal. Because on that play, that was a tackle. It was a tackle for a loss. We was like, I want to say it was on like their 23, 27, something like that. I go in there, mother. I try to shit as fast as I fucking can. Wipe my ass. In fact, that's when we had the old school stadium. Wipe my ass, get up out of there. I come back, dog. They about to get up in the motherfucking ends. I'm like, God damn, y'all couldn't stop these niggas? Like, what the fuck, dog? But shit, I felt so much lighter when I came back. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like, nigga, you went and took a shit in the middle. Hell yeah. Because it was going to be some brown on my pants. It wasn't going to be no mud shit. But I came back. They was pushing. They was in the red zone. I was like, God damn. But, you know, I came back in. We stopped that shit. That was against Memorial. Not Port Arthur Memorial. What was the other memorial in Houston? But yeah, And so, man, look, it was just I feel like Chantrell out there. Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah, it'd have been mud, but with no mud. Yeah, Houston Memorial. And then so my thing was that, I mean, but little shit like that, it was funny, you know, but it was what it was. But my thing is just that, you know, those days are not going to happen for a lot of guys, for a lot of these young gentlemen, and a lot of these guys are going to grow up. You already have enough motherfuckers without father figures in their presence. You know, coaches tend to fill that role. You know, they help fill that void when, you know, you got other situations going on at home. Football, reason I played was because I wanted to get my stress and anger out, and it was a way to release stress. It was a way to release anger. You know what I mean? And you know, it turned into other opportunities. But again, you know, a lot of people ain't going to be able to do that. And so I think it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I think it's fucked up that it is what it is. Man, look, I was stiff arming motherfuckers on my way to the toilet. Get out the way, bitch. Open the gate. Ooh, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you said the crazy thing is youth football is actually worse than junior high football now. Word? Damn. That's awful. That's awful. All right, let me see. Let me try to get everything in order here. Let me make sure that Scotty ain't knocked everything out of line. Yeah, I'm blaming you, old hoe ass little nigga. You know, and let me see what's shaking. And then we'll open up the line here in just a second. Let me get my test on. Oh shit! Now third quarter, I was Gucci. Shit, halftime, I spent half of halftime make sure I finished the job. Sometimes, you know, you just got to get that. You get when it's pushing the limits of your stomach. You like, hold on, let me clear some space. You know. Then I was Gucci after that. Then I finished the rest of the deal at halftime. But shit, that first part, look, give me some pickle juice too, motherfucker. I ain't trying to cramp up. Oh my God, man, I remember that shit, that wild shit. What's the motherfucking deal? Man up, man. It's good to see you. How you doing? How you doing, man up? Hope all is well. To everybody, I find out. I've seen it advertised, but I haven't watched it. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I think Shaq Kush was talking about it. I think somebody asked earlier too if Shaq Kush played football, and yes he did. Man, you asking the wrong person. You asking the wrong person about something if the Hawks got a chance. Let's see. Let me check everything. Make sure Scotty ain't fucked up line. Y'all give me just a brief moment, and we will make sure all is Gucci. Un segundo, por favor. Alrighty, so here's the deal. I'll crank open the den line. What you see, Scotty? What you see? You ready to attack, Scotty? You can go lick somebody to death, Scotty. That's what you're gonna do. Last Chance U. I haven't watched that either, man. So it's I haven't been, you know, so honestly, like I said, it's a lot of stuff I haven't been watching. So what, the Seahawks already got 4 losses? Like I don't know. That's cool. I don't care about Russell Wilson. I really, truly, honestly don't. All right, we got a call coming in. Scotty, you gonna answer the call? Look at this nigga. You know. All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is Kenneth.
Kenneth. What are your thoughts, man?
Yep.
Is American football dying? What are your thoughts on high school football, you being a participant in that activity yourself?
Let me spill a little bit of drip, even though this ain't the sauce. I'm gonna spill a little bit of sauce. But look, I want everybody in that chat to be dead honest. Like, y'all remember last year when Deshaun Watson went out, you know, we were still a little bit interested, you know, but when it got to like week 12, week 11, Y'all know damn well y'all did not enjoy watching the Texans. Why? Because the quarterback play was fucking putrid. That shit was atrocious. You know, however the fuck you say that word, fuck y'all. But, you know what I'm saying, this shit was trash. The fucking quarterback play was atrocious. Y'all did not enjoy. I remember you doing, it was the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You said the only reason you were going to watch that game was because of Hopkins. And I don't blame you. Why? Because the quarterback play was fucking awful. You know damn well this league needs quarterbacks. And I ain't really tripping, alright? But, like, let's say that for, you know, hypothetically, that Big Ben, Russell Wilson, and, you know, every top quarterback, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all them motherfuckers went out. Are you still going to be watching this league? You know what I'm saying? Are you still going to be interested in watching a game that ends, you know, 9-3? Because, you know, that's all you're going to be seeing. Because without these quarterbacks, they ain't going to put up no points. And if you ain't putting up no points, you like defense so much, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of punting. I mean, is that what you really want to watch? You want to watch a league that has a bunch of Blaine Gabberts, a bunch of fucking Tom Savages, a bunch of TJAs, a bunch of Mallet.
Running game is for.
A bunch of Joe Webbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm being realistic. Like, you know damn well this league needs quarterbacks. And, you know, as soon did you see the Green Bay Packers? They were unwatchable last year without Aaron Rodgers. There was nothing to watch for them. Us without Deshaun Watson, we were unwatchable. Let's be honest. Other than Hopkins, we were unwatchable. And a few other people here and there, we were unwatchable. Why? Quarterback play. But that's really it.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that, kid. My thing is this, though. The reason why it was so unwatchable, especially from a Texans fan point, is because our quarterback play was bad, but we played against opposing quarterbacks who were decent, or if not good. And so, you know, it's no point in watching when you don't have a chance. But if the league is all bad quarterbacks, then the playing field's leveled out. You're not. It's not. The parity is not as bad, and so you'll be more willing to watch because then you're going to be tuning in for the defense. You're going to be tuning in. You're going to give more attention to the running game. Things like that would matter more. But when you know it's Tom Savage or TJ Yates or Heineke or somebody like that versus Big Ben and they're fully healthy and everything else. And I think in addition to all the other injuries that went along with the Texans would make that so bad, not just, you know, Deshaun Watson, but everybody was fucking out. So that's what made it so much harder to watch the Texans. But if you're talking about if quarterback plays at a decline across the board, you're going to appreciate other aspects of the game. You're going to go back to that old football, you know, when running the ball was a thing. You know, running backs will be appreciated more. You know, you'll see a lot of that angle as opposed to all this let's tenderize and let's protect the quarterbacks and let's, you know, make it easier for them to do these things and break these records. And, oh, you know, this guy broke Montana's record. But, yeah, you know what? But back then defenses broke Montana's neck, you know, because they used to play back then. You know what I'm saying? Like Broadway Joe, guys like that used to fucking play. Those were real quarterbacks, man, because some of them motherfuckers might have been pretty boys, or they might have been whatever the fuck you may want to call them. But also they went out and they played like fucking grown-ass men. Now these motherfuckers out here are soft and fucking crybabies. Fucking Tom Brady's the biggest bitch in the world. The motherfucker breathed on me. Come on, man. Like, that shit is pussified. You didn't see them dudes do shit back like that back then because the game wasn't catered to those motherfuckers. So, like, yeah, Tom may be the GOAT of this era. It is what it is because the game has been designed to benefit guys like him. But the fucking shit is trash. Like, you got guys who were probably back then who were middle of the pack quarterbacks who would be legends today if they weren't getting hit like that, if they were able to sit there and just fucking have, you know, the opportunities that guys have right now. Then you talk about the Namaths, the Montanas, the Marinos, and guys like that who broke records then. You put them in a situation like that today, man, they'd be shitting on the records that some of these dudes have these days. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's crazy. Moon, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, guys like that, you let them have a fucking halo. You say, well, you can't hit them here and there. You can't touch them on the head. You can't breathe them. Don't land on them. You give them rules like that to help them, you know, stay longer in the game. You know, I mean, come on, man. It's just like it would be a completely different. You'd see a different landscape of the league back then. It would look completely different, but. It's a different game now. You know what I'm saying? It's a different game. And so now it's just like, and now like it's no fucking motherfucking Love these days. All right, let's see. We got a call coming in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den line this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund, how you doing this evening? What do you want to drop in the den tonight?
So you were talking about how, football could be on the decline. How much do you think that is? You were talking about how, the league is becoming soft. Back then players would play through injuries. But, I saw a documentary that said, a lot of these players were kind of forced to take painkillers and injections to go and play through injuries that in today's game, would keep them out for most of the season. How much do you think that has to do with how the league is changing, with narcotics and, how, drugs were a big influence in how players would be able to play in games?
Okay. That's a very good point, man. You definitely used to drug motherfuckers up back then. Shit, drug them up now. I don't give a shit. Like, my thing is, like, cause y'all have heard me say, man, I don't care about PEDs. Like, I don't give a damn about PEDs at all. Like, or any kind of, because that stuff doesn't make you a better football player. That shit might make you a better weightlifter. That shit might make you a better, may help you jack home runs in baseball or something. But just because you're strong, there's a lot of dudes who are very, very strong and very, very trash in this league. There's a lot of guys who, what PEDs do is help you recover. Narcotics, things like that to help you dwell away the pain, fuck it. If that's what keeps you in the game, do it. And I guarantee you this, though, if those guys back then were getting paid anything remotely close to what these guys nowadays are getting paid, they wouldn't give two fucks about it. They went through way more for way less for the glory of the game back then. And again, they were doing all that shit and fucking still keeping it going. Nowadays, it's all about, let's be realistic. These days, it's all about the money because of the gambling, the betting lines, and all that other stuff that comes with it. I think that has a significant impact on, keeping players out. Now, guys may be a bit more strategic because you're thinking about long-term injuries and, quality of play and other things like that. But I feel like players back then were overall tougher. People back then were tougher. It just is what it is. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
This is Kenneth again.
Kenneth again. How are you doing, Kenneth?
Yeah. All right, like I was saying, bro, like if I told some of the people in the chat, like if I told you that a football game was gonna end 6-0, are you gonna watch it?
Yes.
Be completely honest. Are you gonna watch a football game that ends 6-0 or 8-0?
Yes, I will watch a football game that ends 6-0 or 8-0. Like,
all right, so you're gonna enjoy watching 2-yard runs, another 2-yard run, another 2-yard run, and a punt after punt after punt after punt. Oh, and then maybe we get a touchdown, and maybe y'all, go for a 2-point conversion, and then you ain't gonna see none more. But because the quarterback play is shitty here, so we can't throw the ball, so we're just gonna run it up the middle.
But who says you can't throw the ball? Who says you can't throw the ball? Look at what the Titans did with shitty quarterback play. With the Titans won games, they scored touchdowns. You have to get crafty. If you ain't got no quarterback that can throw, all you gonna do is run the ball.
You
have to get crafty. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The fucking 2000 Ravens was one of the most exciting teams you'll ever watch in football.
A football game that's gonna end 6-0. You're not watching no defensive game. No, you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that shit is funny.
I'm not you, Kenneth. Ain't no tight end whooping my ass and getting me kicked out the game. God damn it. I will watch a defensive football game. I have no problem with it. Again, like I say, that Ravens team was around before you ever existed. Go back and watch that 2000 Ravens. Go watch when Ray Lewis was the man. Like, go watch those games and then tell me that that shit ain't exciting. What?
Tell me that. It ain't exciting. What? Tell me that. It ain't exciting. What? Tell me that.
No, but honestly, really, are you gonna find the fun watching? What? So are you gonna watch a Texans game that we end up losing 6-0? You gonna watch that?
I'm gonna watch that bitch. I done watched all these other games we done lost. Shit.
All right, then you're an exception to the rule because 95% of football fans are not gonna watch that.
Because those people are not football fans.
Not everybody else gonna watch.
Those are offense fans. Those are not football fans. Those are people,
why did
those are fans of touchdowns.
Why did Green Bay? Where was Green Bay's fan base after Aaron Rodgers went down?
I don't know, eating
They
cheese.
were still. I don't know where they went. Where were all these Texas fans after Deshaun Watson went out?
Exactly.
Hopkins was still there.
But that proves my point.
Fuller was there. Where were they?
That proves my point. These guys are offense fans. They want to see touchdowns. They want to see quarterbacks throwing touchdowns. They don't know nothing else about the game. They don't care about anything else but a quarterback throwing touchdowns. So these guys are fans of pitch and catch. These guys are fans of playing catch. They don't care about the game itself. These guys are fans of big numbers on a scoreboard. You know what I mean? Like,
but if these quarterbacks are hurt, quarterbacks are so important to this game, dude. Like if these niggas are hurt, then what the fuck is there to do with your offense other than run the ball? If you don't have a top quarterback.
Get strategic.
You don't have your top. What I'm saying is,
just because a motherfucker
run the ball and play defense.
Look, you have a motherfucker you can snap it to. The Wildcat worked for a while. I mean, I'm not saying you have to have the best quarterbacks in the game, but all I'm saying is, if motherfuckers go down, that's what you got backups for. Then you need to have a competent. Excuse me, Scotty. Look at you, asshole. You have a competent backup who can do enough to keep your offense flowing. You don't need a motherfucker who's going to sling the big 40, 50 yards in the air every fucking time.
Put another scenario on the table. All right, let's say that the Titans and the fucking Jags are playing, and Blake Bortles and Marcus Mariota are both out. Are you gonna watch that game with Cody Kessler and motherfucking me? What's that nigga name? The nigga that beat us, Blaine Gabbert. You gonna watch that game?
So you're saying the Titans? You're saying the Titans and the Browns?
Did you enjoy it? Did you like that Titans and motherfucking Jags game that ended 9-6? That shit was fun, huh?
But here's my thing. I don't give a fuck about the Titans or the Jags, one, first and foremost. Two, the thing is, like I'm saying, I love a defensive battle. I like to see successful defense. I want to see motherfuckers get smashed. Fuck that goddamn quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, Scotty didn't got offended. He didn't cocked his ears back because I'm cussing. But fuck that goddamn quarterback, man. I don't care about no fucking quarterbacks, man. Like, what I'm here is to see the strategy applied to keeping one team out of the end zone. And how are you gonna react, or what are you gonna do to make adjustments to keep another team out of the end zone? I don't care about no fucking 30-24 games. I don't care about if it's fucking 6-9. I don't care if it's fucking, you know what I'm saying, a fucking safety to a nothing. Then that means some excellent fucking defense has been played. There's two sides of the fucking ball. There's three aspects of football. There's offense, defense, and special teams. You're just an offensive guy. Just admit it. You don't really care about the game. You just want to see motherfuckers throw the ball and play pitch and catch. That's what you really want to see.
So did you like watching the Texans more when Deshaun Watson was on the field than when Tom Savage was on the field?
Guess what? I like seeing the Texans win. That is. Did you like watching them when
Taylor Heineke was on the field, or when Deshaun Watson was on the field?
When Taylor Heineke was on the field, everybody was dead. The defense was decimated. The defense was decimated. If the Texans, listen to me. What I'm saying. If the Texans would have been healthy and actually looking good on defense, then I'd have said, hey, you know what? At least I can enjoy watching this Texans team play defense. They were getting smoked in the fucking secondary. Fucking Merciless and Watt were out. Everybody else fell off. My only enjoyment out of watching those games was watching Clowney do what he did. And so I did still find enjoyment in those games. Like, this is what I'm saying. I love the game for all aspects of it. If it's great offense included, cool, fine, dandy. But if they're playing excellent defense, then that's what I want to see. I could care less. I could care less. So this is what you're telling me. So you obviously hate it anytime anybody gets an interception. So that's what you're saying to me. You hate sacks. You hate interceptions. You hate tackles for losses. That's what you're telling me.
No.
Well, then, I mean, come on,
no, I
dude.
don't.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? I like that shit. I like watching defense. Don't get me wrong. I personally do. But I'm saying, like, are you just going to watch a game that has nothing but sex and, the fucking team can't throw the ball past 5 yards?
Yes, I'll watch it.
You going to enjoy watching that?
I'll watch that shit all fucking day, dog, and not think twice about it. Like, see what you're trying, you're trying to force me to say something I'm not gonna say. I've told you repeatedly, I like defensive battles. I don't care if it's a motherfucking quarterback putting up 400 yards. Those numbers and shit is for fucking stats nerd and the PFF lovers and all that other shit. That shit don't mean shit to me. I'm not here for stats. I'm here for the gameplay. Like, it's cool to say, okay, somebody put up a bunch of yards. Awesome, great. That lets you know kind of the context of what was going on in the game. But ultimately, I'm here to see motherfuckers play the sport. I'm here to see motherfuckers get leveled. I'm here to see motherfuckers break long runs. I'm here to see people make amazing catches. I'm here to see people thrive against the odds. Like, did you appreciate Hopkins playing with all these trash quarterbacks but still going off, still making amazing catches? We've had nothing but trash quarterbacks on the fucking Texans roster.
I know.
But you
I
can
know
still
I
appreciate
did.
that.
I know I
Those
did.
trash quarterbacks
Watching
still
defense,
found a
I
way to make stuff
personally
look
do.
good. So what I'm saying
But
is,
most people sadly don't enjoy that shit. Most football fans that we have now in this modern era do not enjoy that shit.
well, then fuck them. I
And
don't
do you
care about
really
that shit.
blame
Look,
them?
look, I don't care about them kids.
Who
Look,
the
I'm
fuck-
finna change the call. You got somebody else calling in. But I don't care about them fucking football fans. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in?
Oh, you got to.
Oh, they done hung up already. Shit. I'm finna look. It made me miss the goddamn call fucking with Kid. Kid is trying to get me to say some shit I'm not gonna motherfucking say, man. Like, shit, I hate them fucking overly scoring games. Like, I hate games with no defense. I'd rather see a more defensive game than a fucking game with no fucking touchdown. Hello, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den?
Hey man, it's Solis.
So, Lise, what's the
just wanted to
motherfucking
say,
deal, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
Man, like to be honest, it's a passing league now, but I mean, I was back in the day when I was a Texans fan, like dedicated to watch every game. It was when Arian Foster was on the field. I mean, I love to see that dude run.
Yeah.
He was the heart and soul of that offense. So I don't know what the last you were saying about running the ball. I mean, that shit was fun when I was playing in high school. I mean, that's all we did. Yeah, we had to use the cat, but that was our offense, was to fucking run. We had Quartus and used to run the fucking ball. And, man, we were just a ground and smash, ground and pound team. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I can see what he's saying, but, like, the league now, you can't even play defense right. I mean, you can't even make hard hits or else they'll call a flag. So it's a lot more, I guess, more technique of how you have to tackle, because I even remember when they were teaching us in high school that we couldn't even go head up on the chest. We had to go, like, kind of like a pussy-ass tackle and, like, fall with them type thing. We couldn't even let our ass out. So, I mean, it's just the rules. More people are caring about the brand instead of the team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand that, but, like, at the same time, I mean, give the fans something to watch,
Exactly.
But that's all I got, man.
I agree, so Lise, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for the call, man.
No problem.
Already. Shout out to Lise. See, Kenneth talking all that craziness, man. Like, the thing is, not saying that, like, you try to make it seem like I say I just hate offense, but, like, you act like quarterbacks made the game. I mean, this shit did. Football started before the forward pass was a thing, and people were watching the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, shit. Motherfuckers will watch baseball games that's 1-0, and you can complain about a fucking 6-9 fucking football game. Motherfuckers sit through 9 innings of no scores. You know what I'm saying? They'll sit through fucking 15 innings of no scores. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello, who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Yo, my name is DJ, and I'm gay.
Okay. That sounds like a problem that you have to deal with personally, or if you don't think it's a problem, like what a Seinfeld say, hey, not that there's anything wrong with that. You figure that whole situation out on your own. I guess he needed a way to come out the closet, so I guess somebody just came out the closet in the den. Anyway, sit it down. Look, Scotty, you're doing too much. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was Gay DJ. He was calling in to inform the world that that he's on some suspectory. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
It's Edmund again.
Edmund, how you doing this evening, Edmund? Man, what you want to drop in the den?
So I had a question. Given the new information we have with CTE and brain trauma, do you think the NFL owners are not progressing, with new technology to prevent these things? Are they doing it on purpose, or because, you know, we have the technology, but we still play with equipment that they used back in the early 2000s? So what do you think could be done to improve the game?
Okay. Like I said, I want to believe, and I have to check up on that. I could be wrong, because I know that they said there's been tons of new helmet technologies that have been designed that could prevent concussions and things like that. But I think the deal is, if I'm not mistaken, that I know that I mentioned earlier about that lifetime contract. I want to say it was a lifetime contract that the NFL had with one of those companies. I want to say it was Rydell or whoever it was, whoever was making the helmets. That's why I don't know why I'm thinking that. But so I don't know if that situation has ever changed, and I think it would be up to that company to offer those types of helmets. I don't know if, you know, maybe there's some type of patented technology so they can't offer a certain type of thing. But again, what the problem is business. Ultimately, it's not about player safety. It's not about anything. It's about business. So if they're not offering these things, it's because of business moves that have been made. It comes down to the money, you know, more so than anything else. And that's just ultimately what it is, because the technology is there. The NFL makes so much money for a nonprofit company. You know, it kills me. The thing that kills me the most about the NFL, and people just eat the shit up, and like, I don't see how people don't see it, is the fucking breast cancer awareness. Like, who's not aware of breast cancer? It's not about for a cure for breast cancer. It's just a breast cancer awareness. So we're going to raise money for breast cancer aware. What percentage of the money is actually going to these foundations is what I really want to know. They just sell a bunch of pink shit, make motherfuckers wear a bunch of pink shit. You got to do this shit for the brand. Motherfuckers may not even give a fuck about breast cancer. Like, I mean, you have that right. But breast cancer awareness, I know this ain't got to do with your thing, but I mean, this is why I'm saying it's all about money, is because they make awareness. So that just means we're just talking about it. It's not that we're actually trying to help cure shit. This is money for breast cancer awareness. It's not about researching and really finding a cure. They say certain things. That's why I say words are very important, how people word shit. This shit is about awareness. So we just want to make you think and make you aware of breast cancer. I think at this point in time, everybody's aware of breast cancer. And so they just make this whole deal, make motherfuckers wear pink shit and do all this pink. Well, you gotta wear some pink sometime during this month, you know. And it's stupid again. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a fucking sports for men. Why are we ain't talking about that? Scotty, you want to talk? You want to talk, Scotty? Who you want to talk to? You talking on the mic? Or you just gonna get in my face like that? Punk ass nigga. But like I say, you know, breast cancer awareness. This is a sports for men. Why aren't we talking about testicular cancer awareness? Why aren't we talking about something that affects men? Scotty, who you talking to? Scotty, shut up. You're talking too much, Scotty. Goddamn, y'all in the fucking mic. You're talking. You're rude. You're rude, Scotty. How you just gonna start talking while I'm talking? But again, you know, like it's a money grab. I mean, women make up a small percentage now. They're growing, but that breast cancer awareness shit ain't start happening until they start seeing the numbers. And then let's start catering to this women's fan base because they like this stuff. That when they start paying attention, the women start scoring more. I mean, you got to notice the correlation between these things: breast cancer awareness, the offensive point explosion, all of this stuff. Because research starts showing that, hey, more and more women are tuning in, either because their dads got them into it, because their boyfriend got them into it, you know, their whatever's got them into it. What do you need? Look, I just took you outside. You kidding? You being real rude. You know, I'm just saying, like, come on, dude, sit. And you know, and like I say, and so the money is in women. Women spend money. Women spend buku bucks. Oh, my husband's got a JJ Watt jersey. I want one too. Or he's got a Clowney. I want to get me a JJ. Or I want to get a Hopkins or whatever. And I'm not saying that there aren't women who are true fans. There are some women who are diehard fans, way more knowledgeable about the game than I am. Like, there's some women who are really into the sport of football. I'm not knocking this. I think that the women who played in the lingerie league, you know, it's more of an eye candy thing. I think it's a thing, but it's just, it's money, man. Ultimately, all this shit is about money. Safety, whatever else it is, it's about money in the long run. And ultimately, that's what it boils down to. So there's that. Yeah. So that's my spiel on that one, Mr. Edmond. Heidi, I know you ain't all that German Berlin shit you be on. That wouldn't be the first time you saw something of that caliber, if not worse. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But yeah. Scotty, what do you want? Get out of my face. But then, you have anything else you want to add to that one?
Yeah. Speaking of the NFL players, do you think more players would be willing to play football if the NFL would give out more guarantee and money in terms of contracts like the NBA?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But see, that's on the fucking players to quit caving in, you know, when they have their little holdouts, when the CBA comes around, when it's time to make those negotiations. When they know that type of shit is coming up, they need to start saving their money a year or two in advance, you know, because, hey, my pocket's going to be kind of light for a little while. I'm going to have to be able to sustain a few games, maybe a whole season without my bread, and realize they need to negotiate that into the fucking contracts. Like, hey, we need some fucking guaranteed money. Like, at a certain point, with these quarterbacks getting paid these outrageous, Aaron Rodgers is what, making like over like $80 million or something this year. It's fucking stupid. By March, I think they said he's supposed to have made like $80 million. That's fucking crazy. We got another comment. Take this other call real quick. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we got calling into the den?
This is Kenneth once again.
Oh, goddamn, Kenneth. You still talking about this low scoring football?
That was just a topic. But also something a little bit, well, in the NFL, it's about the Hall of Famers and the whole little thing that they had going on with the percentage of shit that they wanted off the revenue. When that shit first came out, I'm like, I thought the same thing that you thought. Them niggas broke. Like, why are you sitting here trying to get a little come up out of the NFL now that you see that it's boom? Now that you see that it's blossoming, you know what I'm saying? Also, Deion was in that shit, you know, his lane, man. You know, he in NFL Network. I don't know what money he needs. He making enough money. I'm pretty sure he made some good money over his career. Eric Dickerson in there, you know, a bunch of top-notch Hall of Famers in that hoe. But, like I said, like, what do you make? I want your full thoughts on, you know, the whole Hall of Famers strike that they got going on, and, you know, and what they're asking for. Like, do you feel like that's reasonable for all the money that they're asking for, the benefits? But I'll let you answer that.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah. Do I think it's reasonable? And I'm gonna probably make Kenneth my last call here. Yeah, I probably should have kept talking to Edmund. But my thing is this, man. My thing is this. It is what it is. When you negotiate, when you sign your contracts, when you do these things, you know, you get what you value yourself as, or whatever you're willing to settle for. Nobody's forcing you to do any of those things. Now, this whole Hall of Fame situation thing where they want, you know, so much a year. Look, what are you contributing to the brand still at this point? You came, you went, you got honored, you know. I think maybe at the very least, you know, if you're going to do anything like that, maybe give them some type of, you know, one-time bonus. Well, here, you know, you did so much. Here's a $1 million bonus because you brought attention to the league for, you know, so many years of doing whatever. But this paying yearly and doing all this extra shit, man, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit. It's just, look, Earl Campbell sacrificed for the sausage. But he's out of there. And that's what I'm saying, though. But these are decisions that, you know, man, is the money there? Yeah, the money is there. And would they be some hoes for not doing it? Yeah. But at that point in time, I mean, shit, what you negotiated for to just come with this whole new deal of now we should get paid because of, you know, all this old stuff, because, you know, in retrospect, because everything that happened. I mean, that's not part of the game, man. Like, shit, who else can go to a company? It could be motherfuckers who built companies and became CEOs, whatever, and got ousted, but you know, put these companies in a good position. Go back and say, hey, well, you know, I built this company. I made that shit look good. Y'all should be paying me, you know, some extra money every year because I put y'all in this position, or I did this, this, and this. You know. Like, I think they should get like a one-time bonus, like a one-time Hall of Fame bonus. Maybe give them $1 million or something like that, or $500,000, just something. But, like, I'm not saying to pay these motherfuckers every year. And when every year more and more motherfuckers get in, just for what I understand, it's growing, it's booming, it's what. But I don't think that's feasible to pay them every year. You know, but they see the money that's floating around, and I ain't mad at nobody for trying to get you a check. But what I fucking do it, the healthcare thing, I can see that. Healthcare I can see, because you got banged up, y'all withheld all that information for that long. But as far as checks and all that other shit, I ain't with that shit. Like, I mean, like I say, one-time bonus I can see. You know, hey, you're a Hall of Famer here. You know, you gave so much for this brand, for the Shield or whatever. But talking about, look, hey, paying these motherfuckers every day, all the time. I don't know, but not every day, all the time. But fucking yearly? No, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? When I'll say pause because I said Earl Campbell did it for the sausage? Shit. Shit, he did. You told me you ain't ever had no Earl Campbell sausage, man. What you talking about, man? Look, shit. Look, this is what you do in Houston. I'm sad that Akeem is a Muslim. Otherwise, he probably would have done the same. You see, once you become a star in Houston sports, especially, you know, under the 34, you go out and you start a meat company. You either slanging sausage. You know, Nolan Ryan got the beef. You know what I mean? Maybe Kareem could start Kareem. Oh, what the fuck did I just say? Maybe Akeem can start a chicken farm and sell Akeem Olajuwon high quality chicken. So you know you gotta slang some type of meat product. You gotta slang the meat in the city. In H-Town, you gotta slang the meat. You know what I'm talking about? So there's that. You know what I'm saying? There is that whole situation. But here's the deal, mi amigos, my friends. I think we had a good conversation this evening. We stayed pretty much on point for the most part. Which is a rarity. Scotty interrupted quite often. You know what I'm saying? And then, let's see. Did I unban you on Soft Sports? Probably not. I don't know. I got to go back and see who's on the ban list. Let's see. See, that line has noise. Who knows? It probably might. I still use dial-up, so there's that. My thing is this. Damn, how can you still know fucking pistachios, my old punk ass Kenneth? God damn. I don't know, man. You're probably saying something off the wall. I might not even be. I don't know. I'll go check and see. No, ain't no damn mixer. Is it the weekend? Jay Bird's the fucking middle of the week. Ain't no goddamn mixer. Mixers for the weekends only. So there's that. But let me see. Yeah. You know, it wasn't too much shenanigans. It wasn't too much tomfoolery. So, I think it was a good episode. We'll talk about some more interesting things tomorrow. I'm trying to think. Should we be on something serious tomorrow, or should we do something? Well, I shouldn't even ask y'all because y'all a bunch of mostly juvies. I'm trying to think. We should be on something serious tomorrow. We should be on something a little bit more lighthearted. Should we do something more worldwide, something more, you know, something solely America based? I mean, what kind of topic do you think we should have? I'm saving a supernatural for this weekend because we haven't done a supernatural Saturday in quite a while. You know, we haven't done a supernatural in a while, so I definitely want to. I'm thinking about doing that for this weekend. Wednesday night mixer like TNF. Shit, there might be some action like that when that Red Dead come out. Yeah, hey, if y'all are not in the DN group, but I know, like I said, I know a lot of folks don't fuck with Facebook as much, but man, join that the DN Facebook group, and you know, it's a page and a group, but the group is, like I say, where I want to start having the conversation. The link is in the description. I want to start engaging the conversation, you know, kind of throughout the day, you know, different things that y'all want to talk about, and y'all are free to post whatever in there. You know, and, you know, we're going to kind of focus on getting the conversation going. If there may be topics that you guys have interest in and y'all want to discuss, so make sure you join that. And that's kind of where we're going to start the conversation. I have a couple of ideas for tomorrow, but I want to make sure I keep things diverse. I want to keep things, interesting. But like I say, we can either do something a little bit more lighthearted. We can talk some shit. We can talk some positivity. We haven't really talked too positive in the last few days. We can talk about some positivity. We can talk about, problems around the world. Like in the supernatural, we're gonna have a supernatural Saturday because we haven't done that in quite some time. Go explore a haunted house. Maybe we can slide down to G-Town, go to one of them fucking haunted hotels or something like that. Jay Bird, you still wet to bed and drink Similac. I ain't worried about your opinions. You know what I'm saying? You pee on your Vans. There for Supernatural Saturday. Say some serious topics. Man, when is Halloween's but on the 31st? Yeah, I'm gonna wear a fur coat and say I'm a motherfucking pimp. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do for fucking Halloween. Yes, I deny the piss. But like I said, we'll have something interesting going for tomorrow. But again, like I said, if you got a Facebook account, man, join the Facebook Den group. We're gonna get that popping. We're gonna get that shit shaking. We're gonna get it live. But with that being said, because roasted bird is good. I like roast chicken. Maybe you can roast some turkeys. You roast what's that shit? Roast pheasant. What's that shit? That little shit called little roasted hen. You know what I'm saying? You can be Black Dynamite. Man, if y'all ain't seen Black Dynamite, and I'm not talking about the cartoon, the actual movie. I need to watch. I ain't watched that shit in a while. Well, that's what you do. You roast birds. So I need to watch that. But I'm gonna get up out of here and take this fucking lazy ass dog who's taking over my desk for a fucking walk. And I gotta go take care of a couple of things. And but it only makes sense, Cavity, because if you're a cavity creep, right, you give the kids the sugariest candy that you can on Halloween so that the cavities creep into them. Isn't that how that works? But man, with that being said, I fucks with y'all. I appreciate all of y'all, and y'all have a good one, man. Like I say, I appreciate everybody been fucking with it, from the sauce to the den, friends of the den, smoking the wind, all that other good shit. If you smoking some herb, hit it twice for your boy. If you eating some type of actual physical meat, hamburgers, chicken, whatever, take 2 bites for your boy. Cause I still been on my veggie kick. It's been about a month. That shit. It's been about a month of veggie kick. It's been about 4 months of no blunts. I'm gonna do a blunt soon. Yeah, do the blunts. Gotta do a blunt soon, man. Yeah. If you're doing them blunts, man, do a blunt for your boy. And shout out to Rabbit. Oh, belated happy birthday. It's actually this birthday still. It's not like belated. Scotty, shut the fuck up. All right. But that's the bet, man. I'm out. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Look, y'all ain't got to go home. But y'all know what it is. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. And I'm out.